Okay, so welcome to another snack time with Michael Hearst. I am your host, Michael Hearst. And for those of you who haven't been here before, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for me to read from my various books: Unusual Creatures, Extraordinary People, Curious Constructions, and play a little music, hopefully entertain some kids and allow some parents to take a break. I have my snack, which is exactly 4 grapes. That's all I'm going to have today. Yeah, we're what are we on, week 2 of social distancing and isolation, quarantining. I'm here in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and today I'm going to read from my book Curious Constructions. This is the most recent book of the 3, and it features such things as the Moai statue, the Coney Island parachute jump, which I already did in episode 4, and Palm Jumeirah, which is an artificial island or series of islands off of Dubai, which Dubai itself is a curious construction, but this Palm Jumeirah is especially curious. This book was a lot of fun to put together. As you guys know, I started with Unusual Creatures, then Extraordinary People, and for the 3rd book, I thought I really have always loved strange buildings and statues and roller coaster. I mean, anything that's a structure. So this was fun, and I'm lucky to have Matt Johnstone do these amazing illustrations for me. And with all my books, I write songs for the entries. For me, I'm first and foremost a musician. It just seems like fun to write music to go with these entries. And I often have a theme song to go with the books. And for this book, I thought it would be really fun to just attempt to sing every single entry in the book, one after another. And it's a tricky song to sing, but I'm going to try. And hopefully my son is going to join me. I'm hoping. Nathan, are you here? There he is. There's Nathan Hearst. He's going to sing with me. This is very exciting. Oh, and my wife too. Kelly, do you want to hold this? I don't know if anybody can even see this.
Yes, I can hold it.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
There's Kelly. Where's Nathan? You can get over here so you can stand there a little closer so we can see you. There he is. There's the dude. All right, let's try this. Nathan, are you ready? Let's see. I'm going to do it in this key. Arecibo Observatory, Bearcoot Oil Rig, Biosphere 2, Bob Burnquist, Mega Ram Cathedral, Termite Mount, Coney Island Parachute Jump, Desert Breath, Dire Tunnels, Eiffel Tower, El Popo Mechanical, Finca Bella Vista, Gateway Arch, Grand Canyon Skywalk, Grand Central Terminal, the Great Barrier Reef, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, and the Great Wall of China. Because there's the Harbin Ice and Snow Sculpture, Hudson Athens Lighthouse, the International Space Station, IKEA Undersea Restaurant, Chantamonta, King Kong, Chevy Dumac Large, Hadron Collider, Lego X-Wing Lungaberger, Building Marsh Air, Houses, Monza, Ports Mill, Lau Viaduct, Moai Nautilus House, North Youngest Road, Palm Jumeirah, Paul Bunyan Statue, Petra in the Runyo Hotel in North Korea, Sagrada Familia, the 7 churches of Antarctica, Slough, Hong Central Pole, Stonehenge, Stratosphere, Las Vegas, Svalbard, Global Seed Ball, Taipei 101, Terracotta Warriors, 3 Gorgeous Dam, and the Tower of David, Transcontinental Airway System. In the last entry is Watts Tower. These are constructions that I found curious. I hope you'll take a look. I hope this song didn't bore you. And I hope, what do you hope, Nathan? You'll read the book. Nathan Hearst and Kelly Eudailey. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got that out of the way. What entry are we going to read? I could not think of an entry more appropriate to read right now than Biosphere 2. Biosphere 2. Because we're sort of all in our own biosphere right now, aren't we? Many of us are. So, do you guys know? Well, I'm just going to read it. It'll explain. See that? There we go. Tight squeeze here. Biosphere 2, located in Oracle, Arizona. About 30 miles north of Tucson, Arizona, is a structure with 6,500 windows, a giant greenhouse for humans called Biosphere 2. Essentially, it's meant to act like an artificial Earth. But wait, then where's Biosphere 1? Guess what? You're in it. Earth is Biosphere 1. Earth is Biosphere 1. Of course, if we humans were ever to colonize another planet, say Mars, we would need to build a new biosphere so that we could grow food, recycle water, and breathe. That's exactly what oil millionaire John P. Allen had in mind when he funded the construction of Biosphere 2 back in the 1980s. Within the confines of this massive 3-acre system are a rainforest, desert, wetlands, and even a mini ocean complete with beach and coral. How amazing is that? And for 2 years, 8 scientists were sealed inside its glass walls to see if, in fact, humans could survive in an artificial Earth. Unfortunately, on several occasions, outside assistance was needed to keep the team healthy. For example, pumping in extra oxygen. They ran out of oxygen. Not to mention, the group split into sides at one point, feuding over how to manage the biosphere. The general public largely considered the experiment a failure. But perhaps this was based on the idea that Biosphere 2 was some sort of survival game, right? Most scientists will agree that an experiment is always a success so long as we learn something. And in the end, with Biosphere 2, we learned that maybe we're not quite ready to colonize Mars. So I love that because, people immediately were just, this is a failure. This billion-dollar project, whatever, was a complete waste because they had to pump in extra oxygen. But really, a science experiment isn't a failure if you actually learn something. And we did learn something. We learned that there is no easy way for us to live in such a contained environment. And we're not ready to go to Mars. And we really have one place here, Earth, home, that we need to take care of. So in that sense, it was a success. There's some fun little tidbits here. Today, the University of Arizona uses Biosphere 2 for research. You can also take a tour of the facility for $20 or $13 for kids. However, you may want to bring a few tanks of oxygen with you just in case you get locked in. Of course, as I mentioned, they ran out of oxygen at some point and had to pump in extra oxygen. At one point, Biosphere 2 resident Jane Pointer decided to try to make a pizza. How's she going to make a pizza in Biosphere 2? Well, she had to grow wheat and then harvest the wheat to make dough. She also had to raise a goat and milk the goat to make cheese. So she had a goat cheese pizza. In all, it took her 4 months to make the whole wheat goat cheese pizza. I imagine she also grew some tomatoes and had to pick the tomatoes and crush them. And I hope she grew some oregano or basil also. So yeah, that's quite a long-term pizza to have made. Jane Pointer also said at one point that when they finally left Biosphere 2, first of all, you can imagine how stinky the 8 scientists in Biosphere 2 might have been after 2 years of being in there. But in fact, they said the opposite. They said they came out and they said, man, all these people outside of Biosphere 2 are so stinky. They had gotten used to the smells of their bodies and each other in this environment. And they came out and realized all these people smelled like perfume and deodorant and shampoo. And like, whoa, this is just too much. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I have a few pictures that I think are kind of fun, and hopefully I can show you these. So first of all, let's see. Let's see if I can zoom this in. This is what Biosphere 2 actually looks like. And I'm not sure if this is backwards on your screen or not, but you can see one of the big rooms over here is the tropical rainforest. There's also an ocean in this long tunnel right past that, an artificial ocean, of course. And there was a desert, and basically they had every single climate on the planet. Super cool. So here are the actual scientists, all 8 of them. I believe that's Jane Pointer right here with short hair. She's kind of been the spokesperson, the most famous of them all. And then check this out. This is so Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is the ocean room where they could all swim. There's even a little boat, and I think it even made some waves. So as I mentioned, 8 people in this space for 2 years. They did start to get in arguments at times and teamed off into separate groups because they didn't agree with how they should be running things. And Jane Poynter, even within the first few months, apparently injured her hand and had to be taken out of Biosphere 2 to go to a real doctor. And when she went back in, she had a bag with her with some extra goods in there. And of course, the media jumped all over that. We're like, hey, she's bringing extra stuff into Biosphere 2. She's cheating. All very fascinating. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I got on Biosphere 2. I played the song. I think that's all I'm going to do on that today. And I will be back tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to stay here on YouTube. I keep getting kicked off for copyright infringement. I'm copying my own material. YouTube thinks that I am stealing music from someone named Michael Hearst, which I am, but that's me. So I may have to move to a different platform. But in the meantime, I hope you guys are all doing well. Huge thanks to Jason Bitner and Dan Miller. Thanks to Nathan Hearst and Kelly Eudailey and Julian and Julie Landau for letting me use their amazing house and studio. Please take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.